Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is a clock that I literally just got finished restoring. It's a Corona Extra clock. I know it's alcohol. I don't drink alcohol. It's just whatever. But I thought it was really cool because it has neon, and I got this from my grandparents' house, and it's been missing the cord ever since I've ever seen it. I've never seen the neon working before. Um, but this thing needed quite a bit of restoration because it was pretty rough. So what had happened is obviously it had been setting for a long time. It was really dirty and dusty. The glass was really gross. The clock when I was very young used to work in this, and then it stopped working and I couldn't get it working anymore. And what also happened is the zip ties that hold the neon in place, they got brittle and broke. This is still an original one. I messed around with it and it still seems like it's working, but these other two snapped off, and so the neon was just kind of like laying around in there. It's kind of floating, which was not good. But what had happened is if you flip this clock around, if you look back here, this gearbox for the clock mechanism was actually flipped upside down from the factory. And what had happened is a battery had laid in here and it started to corrode. Well, with the battery on top, all of the corrosion went straight into the clock mechanism, and it was a total wreck inside. The board was absolutely covered in corrosion, and all of the gears had corrosion in them, and there was just no way the clock was going to work like that. So I took the clock apart, took it all the way apart, cleaned all the gears individually, took the board apart, cleaned the board, cleaned the prongs, cleaned all of it, and I oiled the gearbox, and put it back together, and it works flawlessly now. This clock used to be kind of loud, but now that it's been properly oiled, it's really quiet, and you can barely hear it. And what's really dumb with these clocks is they don't show a voltage for the neon, so I'm running it on a 6-volt adapter, which I think is slightly underpowered, because if you see here, the neon is flickering a little bit, but I don't want to overpower it. I don't want to accidentally kill the neon. So I'm going to leave it as is right now, because I really want it to just work and not accidentally kill it. But this clock is amazing now. It works flawlessly, and I really do love it. Let me flip the lights off. So you can see it in the dark. I mean, it's beautiful. It really is. I love the neon. It really makes this clock stand out compared to all of my other ones. I don't have any other ones with neon like this. Um, the camera makes it look different. It's a much darker mellow yellow, which is like really pretty. It looks almost like green with my camera. And the whole thing is like one solid color. For whatever reason, it's making like this area look really bright on camera. I promise it's not. But you know, I do plan, like I said, I do plan on putting this on my wall. Now, I know a lot of people are probably wondering, like, where, like, my Jimmy videos are, where these kind of things are. The thing is I still really like Jimmy items, but one of my favorite things about them is working on the mechanisms inside, and I've just been getting really bored with them recently because I've worked on them for so long that I find them quite simple, and I don't get like interested in working on it anymore because it's no longer a challenge, really. See, clock mechanisms are a lot more complex. They have a lot more gears, and you have to time things up, especially when you get to older ones. What's really fun is behind this, I'm currently working on a clock from the 1910s, somewhere in that era. I think they started making that kind of clock in 1903, so it's anywhere from like 1903 to like, I don't, somewhere very early 1900s. But yeah, and I've got that gearbox. I don't have the gearbox in here right now. I do have the gearbox out. And that is that I've never worked on anything quite that complex before, and I really hope that I can get it fixed. So that's gonna be something. But that's the main reason I went back to clocks, is because I kind of forgot how much I enjoy working on like mechanized, you know, mechanisms, gears, motors, things like that. Clocks are literally nothing but that. And I don't know, I just find it more interesting. Like when you work with one of these, you're finding the fabric, you know, and I've just worked on these types of I've worked on these types of gearboxes and things like this so long. There's only like 4 or 5 gears in here, and only like 1 or 2 of them break. It's just nothing. It's just like, it's just repetitive. So I don't know. I like clocks for whatever reason. They're all different. They're all special. They all sound and look, and it's just something that I've always been interested in, even when I was like a little kid. So, yeah, this one was made in 2006. There's like a little font right there you can kind of see. Tripod down. Modelo 2006. Pretty cool. Now that this clock has been, has had oil put in it, it's completely silent. Like, you can't even hear it at all, which I think is really cool, because it used to be kind of loud before. But yeah, I appreciate everyone watching this, and I hope to do more of these soon. I do have another one that I am going to start working on very soon, and it's really bad. I got this from my grandpa. He used to work at AEP. It's this, and when I take the glass off and flip it around, you're instantly going to notice the issue with it. If I flip this around here, tons of battery, like, corrosion damage. This has never worked ever in my lifetime. You can see that the battery has ate the paint completely off the plastic. It's just, I know when I open this up, it's going to have a lot of corrosion. And hopefully I can get this working, because it does have this, I forget what the name of this is, but this just, we'll call it a spinny bit for now. And I think that'd be really cool. I might try and fix this, because it's really gross. It's like sticky. You can see when I take that off, the terminals and things look good, but I feel like on the inside it's going to be trashed. So hopefully I can get this one working. I have one similar to this, but it's literally a joke. Like, it has just a normal clock mechanism inside, and then you have to put 2 different batteries in it. I'm pretty sure that, like, you can tell, like, I'm pretty sure the way this clock is set up is the way that old wind-up clock is set up, which is the same as this, except this one's just battery powered, where this actually contributes to the mechanism, and it actually is what makes it run, whereas the cheap other one I have, there's like a whole other mechanism in the bottom of it, and you put a battery in there and it just makes it spin, and those never work. They always break. But I think it'd be really cool to get this one working. Like I said, the corrosion inside does not look bad, but I guarantee you the more I look into it, you can see it. Look, it's gonna be terrible, especially because it's had it on there for so many years. So I'm gonna see if I can get this one working. This will be then like in my next video if I do get it working. It's a quartz clock. They're pretty easy to work on, and they're pretty reliable, except for when they get corrosion in them. So yeah, thank you guys for watching dumb clock videos.